Toronto Korean Film Festival. A dating app created by three sisters. Dung beetles at Shelly Beach Farm. Korean community in Nepal after deadly earthquake. Inobi spreads happiness through music. Hello, welcome to Going Global. I'm your host, Jung Se-mi. There is a stereotype that prevails in pretty much all countries around the world, like dolls are for girls and toy cars are for boys. But recently in Europe, there is a movement trying to break gender stereotypes. For example, the 2015 catalog for a German toy store features a girl playing with a toy gun and a boy in an apron playing in a toy kitchen. In Sweden, a gender-neutral pronoun was added to official dictionaries as an alternative for boys or girls. Also, in cities like Bremen and Cologne in Germany, many of the male symbols in traffic lights have been replaced with those of women. Such movements to break gender role stereotypes are sweeping across Europe, and they're making us think carefully once again about the stereotypes that pervade our society. And here's our first story of the day. It's a rare opportunity for people outside of Korea to watch a Korean film on a huge screen. In Toronto, Canada, a Korean film festival is being held every year to introduce a variety of Korean movies to people. Let's go behind the scenes of this year's Toronto Korean Film Festival.
This is an animated film about a Korean boy who was adopted by a Belgian family and grows up in confusion over his identity. Sometimes calmly, but sometimes delightfully. As the autobiographical story of the film's director is portrayed on the screen, the audiences who relate to the story the most are Canadian adoptees.
Overcoming obstacles and being the best you that you can be, and finding happiness along the way, right?
At this year's Toronto Korean Film Festival, 4 movies that depict the lives of Korean immigrants, such as overseas adoptees or Korean residents living in Japan, were invited for screening. The film festival also showcases short films directed by promising new directors. Among 150 applications, the highest number submitted in the festival's history, 6 short films, including Hosanna by Na Young-kil and Intruder by Park Kun-bum, were selected.
아티스틱 소셜 밸류가 있는 것을 굉장히 중요하게 생각을 합니다. 상업 영화, 독립 영화 가리지 않고 좋은 영화, 좋은 한국 영화, 의미 있는 한국 영화 그런 영화를 주제로 가지고 선정을 하고 있습니다.
This year's theme was gun, or a piece of string when translated literally. Metaphorically speaking, it represents connections between people rooted in Korean society. About 20 films were featured this year, including director Im Kwon-taek's reviver and independent film Han Gong-ju. There were 5 different sections, including Korean classics and recently released feature lengths. Celebrating its 4th anniversary, the Toronto Korean Film Festival had over 600 visitors this year during its 6-day event.
Many Korean movies are being highly recognized around the world these days. And let's hope that the Toronto Korean Film Festival can introduce a lot of great Korean films to a wider audience in the future. And next, smartphone applications usually have a simple registration process in order to attract more users. But there is a dating app created by 3 Korean sisters living in San Francisco, and you have to go through a rather complicated procedure to become a user. Let's take a look at what kind of app the 3 sisters have created.
A man and a woman who are both single get a recommended date through a dating app. Then they meet each other for the first time. After learning they both speak a second language, they soon begin a friendly conversation.
I like that Coffee Meets Bagel was very casual. There wasn't a whole lot I had to do. Basically, every day at noon I'd get a match. I would say yes or no. If I said yes, then I would get to talk to this person some more. If I said no, then I wouldn't have to hear from this person. So there was very little thought involved. I like that the profiles were very short and sweet.
This dating app was launched in 2013 by 3 Korean sisters living in San Francisco. The app allows the users to connect through SNS accounts like Facebook and finds potential matches based on their personality and interests. Compared to other dating services, which require only a minimum amount of information, this app applies more strict but safe procedures for registration.
특히 여성들을 위한 서비스를 이제 개발하고 싶었고요. 그 여성들한테 중요한 게 뭐냐면은 하나는 safety, 그러니까 안전한 그런 느낌을 줘야 되고요. 그다음에 브랜딩도 굉장히 중요하고요.
Their app drew a lot of attention in the US, where a multicultural society is the norm. The app's popularity began to soar through word of mouth. It recorded $1 million in profit in its second year, a tenfold increase from the first year of its launch. This year they're expecting more. The success lies greatly in the teamwork between the three sisters.
I have never seen a business grow quite as quickly as this, and I've worked in a lot of big companies. I expect nothing but huge things from these three women. They have an astounding vision for this company, and I can't see anything but success in their future. I'm so happy to be here.
The three sisters will continue the matching service, but their ultimate goal is to make their app a communication hub for the immigrants in the US.
한국 사람들이 이제 이민자나 이제 유학생들이 이곳에서 자리 잡고 생활하는데 많은 어려움이 있거든요. 그런데 이제 좀 그런 커뮤니티에 좀 더 많이 기여를 할 수 있었으면 좋겠어요.
The three sisters may be a latecomer in the mobile dating market, but with innovative and creative ideas, they have made incredible success. And their journey to make Coffee Meets Bagel into a global company will continue.
Now here's our next story. Are you familiar with dung beetles? They're beetles known to feed on cow pads, and their ability to remove and process dung of pastoral animals actually helps improve soil quality. An organic farm in New Zealand is using dung beetles in their farming practices and has become one of the model farms where humans and animals and plants coexist. Let's find out more about Shelly Beach Farm in New Zealand.
These are dung beetles that feed on cow pads. They are the so-called nature's cleaners as they remove and process cattle dung, which eventually helps improve soil. They never go near grasses that have chemicals on the surface or dung of cows that have been feeding on artificial forage. Dung beetles are important for the ecosystem, but due to excessive use of chemicals and environmental pollution, they have long been invisible at farms. But in New Zealand, dung beetles are helping the farm's cleaning work.
I have been working with the dung beetles for over a year with our farm owner John Pierce, teaching me about the dung beetles when he comes here, how it works, why we need the beetles in New Zealand.
This is the first organic farm in New Zealand that opened 37 years ago. Animals are out from their pens and grazing in an open pasture. The farm sprays its fields with a mixture of fish concentrate and manure processed by dung beetles. The cows eat the healthy grass, and their milk is shared by other animals on the farm and people who are working here. No pesticides or chemical fertilizers are used. The farm is a place where humans and animals and plants can coexist.
If we keep on using chemicals in agriculture like we're doing, we're going to destroy the soil, and if we destroy the soil, we destroy the earth. So it's absolutely essential that people become interested in organic stuff.
Apart from the farm's maintenance costs, the profits from the farm are all used for training people who study and research organic farming. So far, more than 200 young people from 15 different countries came to the farm to learn about organic farming. John Pierce, the owner of the farm and an expert in organic farming, opened the door for young people to learn about this healthy lifestyle.
So we could grow healthy food to have young people become healthy again. When you have the animals with no stress and the people and the plants with no stress, you unite everything back together again. And it's like a new beginning. It's a coexistence.
This is the dormitory for people who come here to learn about organic farming. There are currently 5 to 6 young people from Japan, Germany, and other countries. They stay here together, farm together, and study environmentally friendly farming. People who want to come here must apply through the farm's website after stating their interest in organic farming and which field they are studying. If slots are open, they are invited to come and stay here for free.
We actually make compost back in the Cook Islands. I want to learn about the composting, how to improve on my composting I do in the Cook Islands. So, yeah.
When I go home, I'd like to learn more about animals and how to treat them in a better way.
There are rising concerns about artificial cultivation and mass production, but there are not many places where you can learn about the solutions to these problems. To create a healthy world where nature and humans coexist, Shelly Beach Farm will keep its doors open to the world.
Now moving on to our next story. April's devastating 7.8 magnitude earthquake in Nepal has left a lot of people in pain and hardship. Fortunately, the Korean community in Nepal saw no casualties, but with so many stores, restaurants, and schools destroyed, many Korean families have lost hope and are struggling to rebuild their lives. Let's take a look.
This is a regular school in Nepal, where more than 500 Nepalese students learned Taekwondo and Korean language after school. The only school in Nepal that teaches Korean culture is on the brink of collapse. The school fence has already collapsed, and the classroom walls have also cracked as well. The cost of damage amounts to nearly 100 million Korean won, but what's more urgent now is providing a temporary space for classes.
그동안의 정치적인 불안정으로 많은 고비를 넘겼지만 이번에 큰 지진으로 인해서 가장 힘든 시간을 맞이하게 되었습니다.
A Korean married couple who ran a Korean restaurant for the past 8 years also became victims of the earthquake. The restaurant's building became severely damaged with cracks on walls even big enough to fit an adult's hand, and it's been decided for reconstruction after safety inspection. The landlord even asked the couple to leave. They are now on the verge of going back to Korea empty-handed.
개인적으로 도움을 청할 만한 곳이 없습니다. 대한민국 정부에서라도 조금이라도 좀 신경 써주시고 도와주셨으면 감사하겠습니다.
Another Korean restaurant and a Korean cuisine center that opened at the end of last year in hopes of giving better future to the poor and young people in Nepal were heavily damaged. The buildings need to be torn down and rebuilt, so it's hard to predict when their training classes will resume.
훈련생들의 꿈은 좋은 곳으로 취업하는 것인데 학원이 다시 정상화되어서 그 아이들의 꿈이 이루어졌으면 좋겠습니다.
The property damage caused by the Nepal earthquake in the Korean community is over 500 million won, with 12 homes known to have been damaged. But as more cases are being reported, the scale of the damage in the Korean community is likely to get bigger.
Now here's our last story of the day. One of the things that makes people happy is music. Young Korean professionals who graduated from prestigious music schools in the United States have come together to spread messages of hope and happiness through special concerts. Let's take a look at the beautiful performances of these young musicians.
Sweet melodies of the piano and violin are playing in the background. Sopranos add their beautiful voices to the song. The audience applauds the performance. The music concert was held in a nursing home in Manhattan, New York, where elderly people suffering from mobility problems are staying. There's no stage setting or lighting. The musicians fill the stage with their talents and skills. These young musicians have come to this nursing center for the elderly people who cannot even dream of going to a concert.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, marvelous, you should care for me.
The musicians on stage are all young Korean professionals who graduated from prestigious music schools in the U.S. They came here to share their talents with the elders and to give them hope and comfort through music. For this concert, the musicians met up to choose their repertoire and practice just as much as they do for regular concerts. Looking at the happy faces of the elderly audience, the musicians feel rewarded and fulfilled at the end.
음악을 하는 이유도 이제 음악을 이제 다 쉐어하기 위한 건데 이렇게 음악을 나누는 게 나의 이제 어떤 목적 중에 하나라고 생각을 하면서 에너지도 얻고 갑니다.
The concert was organized by Enobi, a nonprofit organization mainly consisting of Korean musicians in the U.S. Kang Tae-wook, who studied non-governmental organizations in college, founded Inobi in hopes of spreading happiness to disadvantaged people through music. Since its establishment in 2006, Inobi has given more than 200 concerts at hospitals, nursing homes, and shelters for disabled people in the US and in Korea. It was like a college musician club in the beginning, but with its tremendous growth, the organization now has more than 300 musicians participating.
짧은 시간에 효과적으로 또 진짜 그분들한테 위로를 드릴 수 있는 방법이 해보니까 음악만큼 좀 이렇게 효과적이고 파워풀한 게 없더라고요. 찾아가는 분들, 그분들한테 진짜 위로가 됐으면 좋겠고요.
The events and concerts for disadvantaged people held by Inobi is now gaining more popularity in Korea and also in China. Just like the organization's name meaning Innovative Bridge, Inobi is building a bridge between professional musicians and audiences and connecting countries through music.
I hope you enjoy the stories we shared today on Going Global. A travel research site recently conducted a survey asking people to name the most overrated city in the world. And the city that topped the list was Las Vegas, and it was followed by New York and Miami, cities in the United States, and then by Paris and Dubai in the 5th spot. Rest of the cities in the top 10 included Honolulu, Rome, and Sydney. Well, it's quite surprising and ironic to see how these cities, which are all considered the best tourist destinations in the world, made it into the top 10 of the world's most overrated cities. Despite the dishonor and disappointment, a lot of travelers will still want to visit these cities, and they still have high expectations. If there is a survey on the world's best cities for travel in the future, I hope cities in Korea can make it to the top list. Going Global will be back next week with more fascinating and exciting stories. Thank you for watching.